2 of the Yamaha Blaster restoration. I've already put a coat of this paint stripper on the rear fender and the gas tank to strip these down to the original color, so then I can then repaint them again. So I still haven't taken the front fenders off, but that'll be just cutting off a few zip ties, and I'll get those off and get a coat of stripper on that. I think I'm going to have to do multiple coats of paint stripper, because I'm pretty sure this gas tank here is supposed to be white, and I've got this side scraped off and it's black, and then it looks like there's a layer of orange and some blue, so I'm probably going to have to get what I can off here and then put another coat on it. Okay, I didn't get as much paint off as I was hoping on that first coat of paint stripper, so I'm going to put a second coat on the tank cover and the back fenders and put the first coat on the front fenders and let it sit for a while, and maybe it'll work better the second time. Alright, it's been a few days of me scraping, putting more paint stripper on, scraping. I think I did 5 total recoatings of the stuff to get all that paint off. I got most of it off. There's still a few specks here and there. But like I said, I'm not trying to go... I'll try getting some of this off with the razor blade, but I'm done with the paint stripper. And it don't have to be perfect, because this is all cracked up and broken, so it's going to look like hell anyway. So I got some JB Weld Epoxy that I'm going to attempt to, it's for plastic, and I'm going to attempt to glue this back together. And this side's completely broken off, but it really only has that one crack in it. This side, on the other hand, it's got a crack here, 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 a bunch of cracks all through this entire area. Try to glue those back together. And again, it's probably gonna look like hell when I get done, you know, because and I didn't bother stripping the paint from the underside, so gotta take probably a grinder or something and clean off all this old paint on the underside of the cracks, because I was planning on using I have some drywall tape, like that mesh stuff, and this other kind of glue that I was just kind of smother it on, kind of like you would a fiberglass, and see if that helps hold it. But I do have a feeling that the glue is not going to work. I have a feeling that it's all just going to come off and end up zip tying it on anyway, like it was before. Which makes me wonder if I should bother gluing it at all and just zip tie it back together again with some fresh zip ties. Although I don't think I have enough zip ties. I got the glue. I'll try gluing it. If I have to zip tie it later, then I will. Probably ought to wear a mask when you're doing this, and do it in a ventilated area, because this stuff can be pretty stinky. So you do that, you just mix it up with a little stirring stick. Let's get all these pieces of plastic where they belong. Alright, here's the underside of the rear fender, and this is the side that's got all the cracks in it. So I'm going to take my grinder and clean off all this paint and everything, and then I got some drywall tape and some other kind of glue, and I'm going to fill all this in and hopefully add strength to it. Alright, here's what I'm doing now. As the plastics dry from that glue, I'm just going to go ahead and use some paint thinner, more for like cleaning, to try to get all the grease and grime off the frame. I've already sprayed 2 cans of engine degreaser on it. I went over the whole thing with brake cleaner, trying to get the grease out of all these little nooks and crannies, I guess. But now I'm going to go do the other side. I'm just going to scrub it down with some paint thinner. And then tomorrow I'm probably going to scuff it up. And I got some paint to repaint this frame. I was just going to paint it white, but I decided, since there's just so many little areas and I don't feel like disassembling the whole thing, I was just going to paint it like a silver or gray color again. That way if I miss some areas, it won't be that noticeable. Although the paint I got is actually more, almost like a chrome. I thought, you know, it was Rust-Oleum silver, and I thought it looked like it was going to match the original frame color pretty good, but it's way more metallic. But I guess we'll just go with it anyway. So, because this thing is not going to be a show four-wheeler or anything, I just want to make it look a little nicer, so we'll just stick with what we got for now. I'm going to use this paint thinner and degrease the frame. I got a coat of primer over everything, including the frame over there. Now I'm gonna shoot it with some deep turquoise, and then I'm gonna paint the gas tank and the nose thing white, and I'm gonna paint the frame like a silver color like it was originally. Hopefully the audio came out okay out there. It's super windy, but if it didn't, the paint came out good. All that paint stripping I did paid off in the end. Everything looks pretty good. So the only thing I got to paint that's left is I got to paint these rims. I'm going to paint these white, and then I'm going to paint the hubs, I guess you want to call them, probably this teal color to go along with the paint scheme. In the next video, I've ordered a bunch of parts, $400 worth of parts to fix up the rest of it. I got $320 worth of stuff coming for this engine. I got a Wiseco bottom end kit, so it comes with a new crank, rod, obviously, all the seals and bearings for the crank. I got a new sprocket coming because this one's a little loose. And I just got a cheap, probably Chinese top end kit. Seemed like most of the reviews were pretty positive about it, and that was only 75 bucks because I was getting a little over budget on this thing. Because as you remember, I was trying to stay under $1,000. Well, I calculated all the money I put into this, and I'm at about $930. So if it runs and drives, I'll still be under $1,000, but just barely. Also got a new brake, some brake pads coming because to fix up the brakes. A clutch cable because I didn't have a clutch cable. And some other stuff I can't think of right now, but I got a whole bunch of stuff coming. So hopefully when I pull this thing apart, there's no more surprises. I mean, I'm a little concerned because if you remember the first video, this had a lot of water in the transmission. So hopefully everything in here is alright. I mean, everything's moving freely. Doesn't seem like the clutch was really doing anything. Like I could turn this with it in gear, but I still can't turn a sprocket. So, I mean, it could have, that water could have rested up the clutch pack, and now it's like basically stuck together. So I'd have to get some new clutches for it, which wouldn't be the end of the world, I guess. But so yeah, those parts should be coming in, and I'll get this thing going pretty soon. So next video will be rebuilding this. Then the fourth video will be me putting everything back together, and then we'll be ready to go. So I guess that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.